David, one of the things that I've noticed over the years seems to be key with striped fish. They're an open water fish. Most seasons of the year, and especially here in the summertime. And it's almost like they're kind of relating to that deep water current. And one of the other things that I noticed was I used to work for the state doing water quality monitoring in lakes like Smith and Lake Martin, the real deep, clear lakes. But Smith and Lake Martin especially, which are known for big stripers, have an area that's like a secondary thermocline. And the stripes seem to thrive in that area. And the depths we've been catching the fish at kind of seem to mimic that. But one of the ways you can find those type areas is with a good map, either a good lake map or like this Humminbird 997, you've got maps preloaded in there that's where you can find a good spot to fish.
That's right, and the maps you get today, it's just like I was telling somebody at Wind Creek today. I said, go get you a good laminated map of Lake Martin. And I says, these maps you got today, if you want to just take a handheld GPS, find anything you want to find on this lake with a good map and that GPS. But if you don't have some good electronics on this striper fishing, you know, good electronics and good bait's what it's going to take to catch these stripers.
That's really the key. You know, when these maps that are preloaded, you can see we've picked out a spot that we would just in general say would be a good spot.
Right.
And what you can do with these, they have bottom contours, so you can actually see the depth contours, and you can zoom in on the map, on the spot. And the further you zoom in on a spot, you start getting these depth contours. Now, we picked out this particular place because this is a bridge, and these bridges have pilings on them, and this applies to offshore structure as well, anything that breaks that main river current.
That's right.
And these fish are relating to this bridge because it causes current breaks and where the shad can hang out, but also the fish can kind of sit in those eddies, and they do the same thing on those humps and points that you fish all over up and down the lake.
That's right.
But this is you know, really key, Brett. You know, is for folks that are wanting to fish for striper offshore is to start with a good lake map. You know, pick out some general stuff and then go from there.
There's no doubt. And then, you know, the map's huge because you got to find where you want to go first. But when you get there, this unit has another part to it, the actual part that shows you the
fish
depth.
on.
And while we're talking about that, we'll go ahead and catch the fish. Let's go up here. Fish on. Right. Got two on.
Fish or stuff on something? If it's a fish, it's a fish.
Are you on?
Is it pulling back? False alarm.
I was about to say, if that thing is a dang fish, congratulations. Well, as I was saying right before we got that false alarm, we thought we had a huge fish on, but we really kind of hung a little bit. But
you weren't supposed to grab that rod. It wasn't your turn.
Oh, it wasn't my turn. I was handing it off to a guy, and about broke my back in the process.
Brett always being the kind one.
Yeah, that's what it is. But you know, we're talking about the map on this particular unit and how important it is, but also the graph on this is equally important. It does something different than just a normal graph, Greg and David. It has something that's just unbelievable. What makes this unit so much better than everything else out there is the side image. It actually gives you a picture of what's on the bottom down there. Now, this thing has a lot of modes in it.
Right.
And then you can go, but the side image part of this is actually shooting out 100 degrees to the left and 100 degrees to the right. And this is the boat, so this is actually the bottom that we're going over.
And this is pretty cool while you're talking about that, Brett, is here's a fish that's actually suspended off the bottom. This long white streak is a fish. And so you can actually look out the side and see fish to the side of the boat.
Same over there. And this is unique, but on the graph side, the color in this unit is so clear. Every fish we caught so far, David,
look at these.
You guys called the shot. I mean, we have rods set at multiple depths, and you guys were watching the graph, and literally the rod that was set at 30 or 34, I can't remember which one, you said, there's a fish at 34. As soon as we saw that, or you guys saw it, bam.
Right.
The rod actually went down as soon as you got out of your mouth. So, I mean, when you got electronics and good bait, I mean, it makes it a lot. I mean, it's still not easy, but it puts you head and shoulders above everybody else, without doubt.
That's right. This isn't like crappie fishing back when I was a kid. My mom and dad carried me crappie fishing, and they'd ride up and down the banks and see a good treetop hanging off.
That's right.
You know, and
That's
they
right.
say, "Oh, there's a good treetop. Let's go fish it." Well, yeah, that's good for crappie. You know,
Sure.
or used to be. You can't hardly
Yeah.
catch a crappie now, but.
That's it.
But this striper fishing, that's not it. I
No.
mean, you're going to find these stripers in places that you're not going to find other fish.
That's true.
It's offshore structure fishing at its best.
I mean, you're out here in the middle of nothing a lot of times, and you're marking stuff with waypoints, and I mean, you're in deep water, and I mean, if you don't have good electronics, you're really wasting your time.
That's right. And another thing that really helps on this striper fishing, especially if you do a lot of fishing by yourself, is these remote control trolling motors.
No kidding.
Yeah,
Man, that is unreal.
I don't know if y'all noticed or not, but I hadn't left the center console tonight except to bait up for y'all or help y'all get a fish in or net one.
And that's not a watch on your
No,
wrist.
this is wrist control, remote control for the trolling motor. And I mean, it's just like wearing a watch. I never have to leave from watching these electronics.
That's
that
amazing.
also saves me money from not having to have electronics up at the front because I don't stay up there with my trolling motor.
That's right.
So this is the only electronics I have on this boat. Is this one. It's not like, you know, years ago you'd have one up there and one back here. You know,
As priced as they are, you can.
Yeah.
It's good that
Yeah.
you can only have one because they are expensive, but they're worth what you pay for because of what the results that they return.
big results.
So-
I mean, it's a big difference in the fish I catch now. Not only just from the electronics, but from listening to other striper fishermen that have been doing it a lot longer than I have, and teaching me a lot of things. But it all boils back down to, if you don't have something you can see them on that screen with, it's just
You're
not going to
handicapped.
work.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's at a disadvantage.
Great unit.
And again, and you've mentioned it several times tonight, if you don't have good bait and you're wanting to fish live bait for these big stripers, if you don't have a way to keep them or a way to catch them and keep them alive,
Another waste of time.
it's just a waste of time.
That's right. So, well, we got both here tonight. So, and we've got great unit and great bait. And
David's prepared. I think it
right.
goes without
That's
saying.
exactly
He's prepared
right.
to do some stripe fishing. I mean, we talked about equipment and expertise for stripe fishing. We've got it all right here, and that's why we've been able to put fish in the boat.
that's exactly
Hopefully
right.
we'll catch some more.
Let's get some more.
One thing I would like to say a little bit about is we got Greg in here, you know, that fishes professionally for bass and all, and I know it costs a lot of money for his tackle and what he fishes with.
That's right.
And yes, y'all look at these fish right here on the bottom right here. We're in 40.
They're in the zone.
All right, y'all let those rods down to about 42 feet.
To me, it's like watching a video game. I mean, it's just you know, heads start turning. You're sitting here watching electronics. It's like playing a video game. When you see one pop up,
Maybe they come again.
Yeah.
and he's rolling in there again.
But what I was going to say is, everybody that bass fishes, you know, they spend a lot of money and have to spend a lot of money on real nice tackle, these rods and all. That they spend hundreds of dollars
On one rod.
on one rod. I'm sitting out here, you know, we're fishing with $19 and $20 rods, you know, and $95 reels, and having a good time.
Having a great time.
And they're absolutely perfect for what we're doing.
And they've
with a lot of
withstood
bait.
the stress of any big fish. I mean, you caught them over 30,
Right.
close to 40.
Yes, correct.
And, I mean, we've already put a big one in the boat. And really, that rod and reel never was under any real strain.
No.
You never, I didn't even feel, I mean, at any time where I felt like that rod and reel wasn't adequate to to catch a big fish, and it landed that fish. Pretty
right.
quickly.
And so I guess what I'm saying is spend your money on electronics so you can find these fish, because you don't have to spend a whole lot on your rods and reels to have a good time and to have what you need to catch these stripers with.
More of Sports Blitz Outdoors right after this.